coming on 2 years in February next month. In the traditional sense of a boarding house, but I was with Pindari for a couple of months at the time of my breakdown in my marriage, and I contracted MS around the same time, so it's sort of like I was already at bottom, and I sort of went below bottom, and it got to a point where, you know, I wasn't even in a position to go private rental or anything like that, and I found myself in my car for 6 weeks until I thought, well, this is no good. You know, as far as I had to have injections, and I had no fridge, things like that. So just from a practical sense, in a health scenario, at least I had enough common sense to realise I needed to do something about that. So obviously I went to Centrelink, and they gave me a list of organisations, and Pindari was one of them, which I was from the Gold Coast, so it was the only closest thing, which was in Brisbane, so I had to move away, which was no big drama, but I still would have rather stayed close to where, at the time, I still had contact with my son, but since then I haven't. Look, from all counts and other people I've spoken to, it's not the worst of the worst, but it's not the best of the worst either. So, you know, it's a roof over my head. It's just it's 3 stories up, and that makes it difficult having to go up the stairs and stuff. But I'm trying to do my best to work around that and better my position, but it takes time, I guess, and patience. And I guess that's one thing, you don't run out of time, but patience tends to have a limit, I guess. Occasionally you feel, why me, you know, the world's against me, it's just, but it's not, it's just how you feel. If I had an issue, I probably wouldn't want to have to raise it with them, put it that way, that's all I can say. All right, there's only a couple of toilets there, and it's quite filthy. Put it this way, every time I go to the toilet, I take my bottle of Pino Clean with me. But for majority, the purpose is survival and at least having a roof over their head. So when you see where half of these people have slept the day before, then anything is a positive for them. Exactly for what they are, the last resort. Okay, the last resort. Simple as that. You know, and I'm not saying that you can please everyone at the same time or as much as one or the other, but I think there's a lack of understanding a specific individual's problem. You get all thrown in together, and that's the sad part. Well, for starters, it would be 1 floor, especially if it's from people with disabilities for movement situations. More than 1 stair is just not capable of taking in people who are quite developed in their symptoms to being in a wheelchair. They need ramp access, and you can't put a ramp 2 stories up. It's just inconceivable, let alone practical. I wouldn't need to show any much more than 5 foot in the front door. You should have I mean, just the smell, you can't avoid it. You know, but for me, I just try and exist, and boarding house at least is the roof over my head, but it's a struggle every day.